What's up, guys? Aaron Benjamin here for another video. As usual, I'm here with my good friend Ty. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please smash that subscribe button. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. Leave a like, leave a comment, and let me know what you think. Today, we're going to be continuing on our Crucifix video. I'm sorry that video was a little bit less quality. I was going to refilm it, but our good friend Ty said it was good. No, I'm kidding, but let's move into chokes. Okay, let's move into chokes from the Crucifix and talk about applying them from the top position and then applying them from the bottom. We're going to go over various chokes today, both in the gi and no gi. So let's just get into it. You just go turtle here, facing that way. So, in my last video, I discussed attaining the Crucifix comes from a separation of his elbow and knee. I can bring my knee in here, I can slide my knee out, and I can catch his arm. Okay? So, assuming that I was able to catch his arm and figure four my legs this way, some people like to bring your arm back out. Some people like to catch and keep this leg as the leg hooking it. There's various ways to do it. Figure four the other way. It's personal preference. I like to figure four this way, but I'm really confident in my ability to pinch my knees above his elbow and keep his arm. So the benefit of crucifixing is because I've taken one arm out of his hand fighting ability. So now it's two hands versus his one hand, which the higher level you get, that's a huge advantage. Why don't people utilize the Crucifix as much in competition? Because you don't get any points for it. You would get an advantage, but a lot of people, in especially tournament fights, are trying to hunt for those hooks. So once we're here, one of the easiest and most amazing chokes to do from here is to pin his wrist down to the mat. You don't want to pull his wrist into him too much because it can make him collapse and it might make him roll. So roll over this shoulder. And if he rolls, that's fine. We're going to just end up on a bottom Crucifix, at which point we can start to hunt for chokes. But we're actually trying to choke him from the top position because there's much less risk. So assuming that we got the Crucifix right and we have it locked up, we're nice and tight, we're going to pin his hand, grabbing right here at the hand to the mat. Now my right hand is going to do what we call the ice cream scoop. So a lot of high level guys use this. Basically, I don't make a fist, I put my thumb over my index or my pointer finger, pardon me, and I'm going to start to scoop underneath his chin, like so. Okay, I want to get my hand under. This is assuming he's tucking his chin. Guys, this can be pretty brutal, and if I'm rolling with Ty, who's really competitive, he's a good blue belt, and a couple of the other competitors, I will ice cream scoop his chin as hard as I can. If it's like a 50-year-old guy who's a blue belt, comes twice a week for fun, me personally, I wouldn't do it. So there has to be a judgment on how hard you're going to scoop underneath your opponent's chin. I don't think there's anything wrong with it because tucking your chin is not a defense for chokes. But again, if somebody doesn't know any better, and I've been training for 11 years, I'm not going to rip their chin off unless it's Ty or another competitor in the gym. So I get here, I'm able to scoop, scoop, scoop underneath, and I just want to get the blade of my wrist just underneath his chin like this. I don't want to get too deep. I do not want the crook of my elbow all the way on the chin. So let's say you lift your chin for this. I don't want my elbow here. I don't have nearly as much choking power. The benefit of this one-handed choke is that I'm shallow, just like this, okay, the blade of my wrist. Now all I'm going to do is pull my elbow back, and it's going to be a trachea choke. So I'm going to pull my elbow to me as I keep my clamp. So I pull back and up like this. So what that does, it's actually really tight. So I'm here and here, head down, roll over him, and I pull up. It's a super tight choke, guys. Super tight. If I get here and I'm not able to tap him from this position, right, I can always undo my hands and make a gable grip, and I can lean a little more over it and use my left hand to pull up my right hand, and I can choke really tight. In this position, it's going to be a little bit more of a sacrifice, and you're going to want to go for it really hard so that he doesn't roll because you gave up your posting hand. So again, most of the times, this is my warm-up choke. I want to test and see if I'm able to submit my opponent from here. So I get here, I'm scooping, scooping, scooping. I get here, and I start to just choke. Okay? A lot of people tap because it's a lot of pressure on the trachea. But assuming they don't tap and we have the gi, I can bring my thumb to his lapel and grab his lapel. Okay? From here, I can do the same choke. Pull my elbow back and pull up on the lapel as I flare my elbow open. So I'm going to pull back initially, down on the lapel, and then flare the elbow like so. So again, down on the lapel, elbow back, and now flare. And I'm going to get the choke here. Guys, if he doesn't tap from this, I can start to walk into a clock choke. Okay? Walk, walk. I can give up the arm, I don't need it, and just keep pulling up. Sorry, I'm going to make Ty faint. And just do a traditional clock choke. This isn't a clock choke video. this is more of a overview of different attacks that we can utilize from the crucifix. So one more time, we're here, we're attacking, we get our knee in between his elbow and knee, we bring his leg out, we lock, we pin the hand to the mat, we ice cream scoop, choke number 1, bam. If that doesn't work, we grab the lapel, choke number 2, bam. If neither of these work, I go for the clock choke. Again, I'm gonna make a whole series on the way I approach the clock chokes. This is not a clock choke video. If I'm unable to do either one of those, or all three, I'll grab the other lapel, okay? And I'll pull this lapel down, and I'll get both of these. I'd probably do this before I go for the clock choke, which is such a popular choke, the clock choke, so I wanted to mention it. Why would I do this before I go for the clock choke? Oftentimes when you go for the clock choke, he gets his arm back. So I'm kind of going for all or nothing. Whereas when I'm here, I'm not giving up anything. I've stayed on top the whole time. If at any point he gets his arm free, I can just switch and I have good grips and I can start to take his back and I can start to choke him anyways. So the crucifix can just be a bridge into getting your choke grips really, really well secured. Okay? So now, what if he rolls over while I'm trying to do this? He rolls. I like to put my hand on the mat so I can control the roll and dictate where we fall. And I'm going to roll with him. And I'm going to use my knees pinched to pull him down. And very important detail, I'm going to pin his wrist to his hip. And I'm going to do a hip escape. Okay? I want his shoulders close to the mat. I don't want his shoulders on me because sometimes Ty's going to bridge this way. So bridge up on me. I don't want this. This is not in my favor. It's better to choke him in a single hip position on my side. So see how I'm on my left hip? From here, I'm going to bring my same ice cream scoop through. Okay, and I'm going to grab and pull back. Okay, same choke that we were doing, the one-arm choke. Again, if that doesn't work, I grab his lapel and I go for the lapel choke. Okay? So let's do the crucifix. Just roll this way. And let's say I'm on your back with the crucifix. Yeah, like this. So again, assuming we're here, guys, can you lower your knees? My chokes, I pin his wrist. I get really tight, I come through. I grab across, the blade of my wrist is here. I'm not gonna keep choking Ty. I pull my elbow back. Okay, that's my first choke. I'm very tight. I use my shoulder to push his head into the blade of my wrist as I pull back on my wrist, therefore closing that hole that his head is in. If none of those work, I grab his lapel, I start to pull the lapel down, almost like a traditional bow and arrow choke. Okay, so once we're doing all these chokes, it's gonna open up even more options for different arm locks, where we can start to move his arm in like Americana directions. We can start to come up on Kimuras, right? We can start to dig for inverted triangles. There's a lot of different possibilities from this crucifix position that we're gonna go over in future videos. But you guys know how I teach. I like to give you guys conceptual overviews so that you can generate a path of attacks. So that's pretty much what the purpose of this video is. If you guys want to see specific, in-depth, detailed videos on any of the chokes displayed prior to me ending this video, let me know in the comments below. Thanks to my friend Ty. These are brutal chokes, so I feel bad applying them. Thanks to you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and thank you so much. Os, guys.